Everyone, it's me, Vicki Gunvalson, and I am so excited to be back doing a podcast. Some of you have been asking me to get back on audio, and this time I'm going to do audio and video. So hopefully you'll enjoy this next 30 to 45 minutes. My last week with a podcast was good, but this is going to be even better. So I'm going to be doing it by myself. Steve will not be joining me, which is it's going to be a little different, but it'll be better. So I think we're going to talk more about women stuff, entrepreneurship, all the things that we're going through in this COVID period still. When I was taping my other podcast, we had just started getting into COVID, and I was not in a good frame of mind because I didn't know what the end result was going to be, like most of you. And here we are 10 months later, still in it. And I'm coming to you fresh from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So we're going to talk about a lot of things in this podcast. We're going to each week touch on different subjects. But today I thought I'd just really talk about where I'm at with my life right now. What about reality TV that's been in the past for me, what I've got coming up in the future. And we're going to talk about finance, fitness, our mental state of health, and just really, I think for women to women, we need a little bit of a safety net. So I'm going to encourage all of you to listen, to share this, to email me with any comments or topics that you'd love to hear more about. Like I said, I get a lot of emails right now of people wanting to know what Tamara and I are up to. What am I up to? What happened to the season 15 of Housewives of Orange County? And I'll let you know it's dropped. My last numbers that I saw was 0.82 million. So 0.82. We were typically around 2 million when I was on with Tamara. So it's really significantly dropped. There's a lot of reasons why I think it's dropped, but we'll touch on that, and let's just dive right in. So as I mentioned, 2020 was the start of COVID. Prior to that, January of this year, I am now back in Mexico, January of 2020. It was not even a word that anybody knew. Nobody knew what COVID was. I mean, I was here till the end of January. I got back to the States, and 2 to 3 weeks later, everything started closing up, and including my business. You know that I own Kodo Insurance and Financial Services, and we are considered an essential business, but my business model was not able to sustain attracting new clients because we couldn't do seminars. So I speak to people about retirement planning, and the entire year we couldn't do that because all the restaurants were closed. So if you think it hasn't affected me, it has. I know some businesses have actually flourished from this COVID. You know, look at Amazon. Everybody's ordering their food on Amazon. Look at Zoom that we're on right now. I had never done Zoom meetings with clients prior to this. We were a face-to-face, opportunity. Now we're Zooming with clients. So there are some businesses that have flourished. I would say most haven't. If you're in the restaurant business or service business, it's been difficult. So I feel for all of you. I get a lot of emails and questions. I'm going to read some of them to kind of get some conversation starting. But I just thought I'd talk about what women are needing right now at this time in our life. And I'm 58 years old. I need people in my life. I don't like being alone. I like socializing. I like going out with friends. I love to travel. And what we're seeing now is that everything that we knew as humans has stopped. And I have decided in the last 4 months, that I'm going to take all precautions when it comes to COVID. I have been tested for COVID. I've not ever tested positive. I wear my mask. I do my sanitary measures. Here in Mexico, anywhere we go, they put a temperature on our forehead or our arm. whether it's a restaurant, whether it's Costco, whether it's a grocery store, anywhere we go, we get our temperature taken. So that's different than in America. I don't see that happening. In Canada, I've got a lot of friends here in Mexico. They're in somewhat of a panic mode because the Canadian government has really put fear in their lives. So we're all in this angst of what's going to happen, how long is this going to last, and what can we do to improve our lives. So I'm just going to give you some words of encouragement. I believe this is a chapter, a very big chapter in our lives. And, remember, you think about a book, we've got lots of chapters. And I think this is a chapter, maybe one or two chapters in a big book of life. And we're going to come out hopefully soon, sooner rather than later, that we will have enhanced something in our life, whether it's realizing that relationships are super important, whether it's realizing that travel is super important. So for me, travel is super important. I did one of the most goofiest things this year. I bought 2 houses. Why did I do that? I'm diversifying my portfolio. I'm selling my main house in Coto, and I bought a condo here in Puerto Vallarta. And I also bought a little lake house by Brianna in North Carolina. And what I'm trying to create is, what do I want my life plan to look like in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? And what for me works is traveling, being around family, being around people that love me. And that's what fills my love tank. Remember those of you that watched the show for years and you heard me talking about my love tank? I am in a depleted mode if I don't travel and see people. I have to be loved by my friends and be loved by my partner and be loved by my family. And without that love, I feel like I'm on empty and I don't have any gas. So I'm going to encourage you to, if you're open to traveling, whether it's taking a car ride to another state and going on a weekend getaway, do it. Because this can't last forever. I mean, this is a very high potent, enhanced flu. The vaccine should be coming around the corner, whether you believe in the vaccine or not. Society will get back to somewhat of a normal. It's going to be a new normal, but it will be a normal. So I just want to give you all a little bit of hope and encouragement that this won't last forever. This is just a chapter in all of our lives. And it's a stinky chapter, and I don't like it. So what helps for me is I journal. I journal a lot. Every single day I'm writing something down about my feelings. I'm in the process of doing another vision board. Vision boards for me are super important. I want to project out into 2021 what I want to manifest for my life. Feel it, see it, believe it, pray about it, whatever you need to do, put it on paper. This is what you want your life to be in the next 11 months, because we are already almost halfway through January. So I'm going to kind of go over some things that I pulled off the internet. Whether they're right or wrong, don't be mean to me. But what I'm finding out is this. The CDC National Center for Health Statistics, the life expectancy has dropped in the last 2 years in a row. So all of you, most of you know that I am an insurance and financial services professional. So insurance and life insurance is a big part of my practice. Life expectancy has been going up in the last 10 years, but for the last 2 years, we've been going down. The CDC, National Center for Health Statistics, I got this off the internet, said the life expectancy has dropped in the last 2 years in a row. Now, me being in the insurance and financial services, we track life expectancies pretty strong. Back when my grandmother was 60, 65 years old, I remember her being an old lady. I mean, she was in a housecoat, cooking, didn't drive, she was overweight, she didn't take care of herself. And that was old, 60 to 65 years old. I'm 58. I mean, that's a lickety split around the corner. But the life expectancy, as you all know, has gone higher and higher because of modern medicine. We are able to live a longer, healthier lifestyle now because of modern medicine, the tools that we have now to keep a healthier lifestyle. So the last 2 years it's gone down. And this is why. One word, it says despair. The decline of emotional well-being is suffering. So when I see that and hear that, that makes me fearful. That makes me have anxiety. That makes me sad. What makes me even sadder is 21% increase in opioid deaths, 4% suicide rate. Are desperate for a change, for love, for new hope. And this is in the past 2 years. So this was even a year prior to COVID, the COVID trauma that's happened to our world. They said belonging, the hierarchy of needs, the human need is in crisis. We are a social tribe species. We're meant to be together. We are not meant to be alone. We're meant to be in groups, whether it's a church group, whether it's a work group, whether it's a friendship group, and all that's been taken away from us. I can't go to church. I can go to church online by myself in my office. That's not the same for me going to church and worshiping and putting my tithe in the basket. It's different. And I know we're all, whether you go to church or don't go to church, that's just an example, whether it's a bowling league or a bridge group league, everything has been canceled. So we know that humans need interaction. And do I have the answer to all this? No. But I think by the end of this podcast today, I want to encourage you to safely get back into life, whatever that may be. If it's going to the beach with a girlfriend and wearing a mask and walking, or going on a hike in the woods, whatever you need to do to start living life again, I'm going to encourage you to do that, because I know when I don't have human interaction, I'm like a flower that's dying. I need that. It says we are humans and we are wired tribal groups that allow us to share workload and share our good and bad times. So as humans, I need my girlfriends, not just to call on the phone. I need them to hug me and tell me everything's going to be okay. The day that I found out I was not going to be on the Housewives anymore, I was actually in Las Vegas with Steve, and we were getting ready to go to an awards banquet that I won an award for. And my producer called me and said, do you have time to, he first texted me and said, do you have time to talk? And I'm like, here's the call, Steve. It's either I'm going to get the job or I'm not going to get the job. And we'll bring you back as a part-time housewife, which I had done for season 14. And I heard him out for a little bit and I was silent. And of course I started crying. I said, I'm not going to do that. You either want me or you don't. And he said, well, we want you, but we're ready for a change. We're ready for younger audience. We're ready for new blood. And, that doesn't include you. And of course I said, what about Tamara and Shannon? And he wouldn't tell me what was happening with them. But as you all know, the same thing happened to Tamara. So I went and put a, shiny dress on and my nylons, and I went down to this award banquet, and inside I was just like, oh my gosh, 14 years of my life has now been gone. It's gone. It's wiped away from me. And I had my phone in my purse, and all of a sudden I see Tamara calling, texting me, call me back. So I removed myself from the banquet. I went outside to the hallway and she was sobbing. And she said, Vicki, they offered me a friend position and I declined. What about you? She says. I said, well, I did the same thing. So here we were, both of us, unemployed from a network that we considered them our family, and we really were all in. I never really thought they would fire both of us at the same time. I thought maybe one of us would be let go because we were getting expensive and our life was kind of mundane in regards to predictability, but mine is not, and hers is not. So many things have happened to both of our lives since we've been off. But through that, we went through months of tears and crying and what did we do wrong and rejection. And then to come to find out they kept Kelly and Shannon and Gina and Emily. And we're like, why would they keep them and not us? We're at the Thelma and Louise. So when you talk about rejection or hurt, it's huge. I mean, it literally is huge. To be the founder of a franchise that is now in 6 different counties and states, it's really tough. And I'm still going through, I could think it's like separation anxiety. I don't know what it is, but I hired a counselor and she said, it's like a death and you're going to get through it. It's going to take a lot of time. It took you 14 years to get here and you're going to get through it. So what helps me in this death of a job that paid me well, that I enjoyed at times until they lied about me and said bad things about me, and then I didn't enjoy it. But I think that one of the things that helped me was to just know it's a chapter. This was a chapter in my life, and now new things are coming to play. So, I never thought that I'd own a house in North Carolina. I was so mad that Brianna moved there, but I bought it, and we had the best time over Christmas, and we celebrated life together, and we played games. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was filming a show, because they didn't want me to leave Orange County very much. So new things are happening and new changes are happening. And with those changes, you have to be willing to adapt. So I'm going to encourage all of you that think of the seasons. There's 4 seasons. We're going to go through storms. We're going to go through sunny days. Life that we're in right now, I think, is pretty much a storm. I mean, one day I'll be able to unload on all of you all what's been going on in my life personally, and it's not been good. I mean, this last week has been very difficult on me personally, but I'm not willing to share yet. There's a lot going on. Like I mentioned, I am in Puerto Vallarta. Good things are happening this week. My brother comes in tomorrow. My sister Lisa, who you've met on the show, come in on Friday with her children. And we're going to fellowship, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to try to just live life as best we can. So travel for me is really important. Being around my family is super important. Being around my 3 grandsons. I don't know if you all know, but Brianna had another boy. She named him Hank. He's 2 months old now, and she's definitely got her hands full with this homeschooling. So all you mothers out there that are homeschooling, I have so much sympathy and strength for all of you all, because she's doing the homeschooling and nursing a baby every hour, and it's a lot. So kudos to all of you. I don't know what states you all live in that are listening, but North Carolina, the kids aren't back to school unless they're in a private school. California, the same thing. So Illinois, the same thing. It's tough times, but going back to human relationships, I want to say some things else. If you're depressed, if you're sad, if you're scared, reach out to people that can help you. Reach out to people you love, because you're not alone. I mean, the numbers are here. Lack of belonging, feeling disconnected, shame, anger, jealousy, loneliness, depression. I'm jealous. I'm jealous that Shannon kept her job and I didn't. I'm jealous that, other housewives like Ramona and some of the other ones that have been on less than me, but still a long tenure, that they're able to keep their job and I wasn't. So I'm jealous of that, but I'm also insecure, and I'll admit it. I'm probably one of the most insecure women there is that I know. And people tell me that, oh, you seem so secure. I'm not. I'm weak, just like a lot of you. But I found another statistic. If you are with a life partner, whether it's a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or whether you're married or not married, a life partner, somebody that you can trust to be there in the good and bad times, that will add 3 years of healthy life to your lifespan. So it shows us that we as humans are better together than apart. Church groups add 70% more quality life. Social circles that we can share common interests add 50% better quality of life. So these statistics that I pulled up to kind of talk to you all about are real. These are real topic. We need to understand. We need people. We need to be around people. We need to have these social circles back in group. My next week's podcast, I'm going to talk to you about traveling. I'm going to talk to you about why traveling is so important and what it's like here in Mexico, traveling here. I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty on the fear that I had is gone. I'm not fearful. If I'm going to get COVID, I could get it back in California, in Orange County, at the grocery store. I can get it at the gas station. I can get it just in life. So I'm not going to live in fear anymore. And I encourage you to just kind of go deep down in how long can this last? So stay tuned for next week. We're going to get into what it's like to travel, what my experience has been so far, coming to Mexico, going to North Carolina to see my daughter, getting that house put together, and also going back to Chicago. So since June, I have been traveling. And I encourage all of you to kind of tune into next week. There's a lot more coming. So fun, and thanks for tuning into Reality with Vicki.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being. Supports muscle strength and endurance. Cognitive function. Powerful liver support. Energy. Helps blood sugar regulation. Superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.